to express profound thanks and appreciation to members of Parliament who have debated in support of this agreement. Like I always say, the essence of this agreement surpasses the supply of electricity, because it does not only limit to the supply of electricity. You could agree with me that Sierra Leone is a conference of parties in the Paris Agreement. And Article 2(1)(a) is essentially clear that we have a goal to reduce the greenhouse emission to 2 degrees Celsius. And Sierra Leone is a signatory to that agreement. And Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we always have a 5-year plan that we do and present in the Paris Agreement. Whenever there is COP, that is Conference of Parties, we have a plan. And it is called the National Determined Contributions. So these are plans that are geared towards how the country will contribute to reduce the greenhouse emission, gas emission, and adapt to climate change. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, you will agree with me that Sierra Leone has suffered so much from climate change. The landslide that happened in Motomé was not just natural. It's a reaction to climate change. When you affect the climate kicks back. And how does the climate kicks back? By natural disaster. Sierra Leone, especially the city, is an habitat of flood. Flood all over. Just when we have small rains, there are flood all over. Why is that? Because of the climate. So one thing we should do as a nation is to meet up to our commitment in the Paris Agreement, which is to reduce the greenhouse gas emission, to increase the greenhouse gas emission. And Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we all should know this, that the agreement that government has entered into is a good one. Good one in the sense, we all know that government budget is limited. Government is financially strangulated. And government cannot be able to perform well in every area or every department. So what government should do to ensure that the burden of government on government is reduced is to ensure that we go into the PPP. We partner with the private sector. And this is one partnership that I'm sure is a very, very good one, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, before the implementation of this very agreement, which is about 15 to 18 months after this ratification, this parliamentary ratification, there are a good number of things that I want government to focus on in Lungi, especially when it comes to electricity. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Lungi is the gateway to Sierra Leone. And the first impression for any visitor goes a long way. I have been up here on several occasions, and when you look at Lungi, the environment, when the flights will want to land, you will have a negative impression. Everywhere is dark, except the airport. As if the airport is the only building in Lungi. We have gone to other countries, and when you take off, you see the illumination all around the country. The city, you admire the beauty of the city. And that is what you should replicate in Sierra Leone. Lungi must not be that. You see, as I speak, Mr. Speaker, there is no electricity in Lungi. There is no electricity. And that impression is not good for us as a nation. So I want to plead with the minister to ensure that frantic efforts are made to increase electricity supply in Lungi. And even when we have what we call electricity supply in Lungi, it is only from 7 p.m. to 2 p.m. 7 p.m. to 2 p.m. And the thieves, all the thieves now in Lungi, they have watches. So they look exactly at their watch at exact 2 a.m. and they know the time to go out and cause havoc. You see, so we want also, this is a festive season. This is a festive season. I want to plead with the minister to ensure that they increase electricity supply At least let it be around 8 a.m., Mr. Minister. And now to the Lunge Power Development Limited. You see, when government goes into agreement with any institution, is to ensure that the people in that community benefit from the agreement. You see, that was one problem we had with the airport agreement. I will not delve into it. The community development plan is zero in that airport agreement. The environment is benefiting little or nothing from the airport, except for those who are traveling. And Mr. Speaker, as a parliament, it's our responsibility to make sure that when government goes into an agreement, the people benefit. And this is one good agreement that the people of Lunge would benefit from. Yes, the people of Lunge would benefit. As I speak now, Mr. Speaker, our team, the Bullock Stars, has qualified for the Premier League. They are in the Premier League. Yes. Bullock Warriors is also part of the Premier League. That shows how Podloko district is versatile when it comes to it. But interestingly, our field, the central field in Lungi, is not up to standard. So the FA has sent us a notification that no game should be played on that pitch because it is not up to the Premier League standard. It has to be tough and it has to be constructed. It has to have toilet and all of these things, pavilion and all of these things. So as at now, the expenses on us who are the members of the board of the team is so enormous because we have to pay for the players, we have to pay for the supporters for each game that will be played at Podloko Central. So it's expensive on us. So for Lunge Power Development to offer to construct that field, I'm sure this is a right place to tap our table for them. And Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we also see the tariff. This tariff is even better than the offer made by the car power ship. Even after the renegotiation, this tariff is better than that offer. So government should try to the best of our ability to ensure that we do our level best to get the best out of this agreement. And Mr. Speaker, honorable members, before I forget, we are also similarly purchasing power from the car power ship. And the tariff for electricity is not low. But I have to ask myself on several occasions, why is it that government has not been able to pay car power ship? There is a huge debt. A huge debt. So I don't want a similar trend to be replicated with the Lunge Development Power Project and also the Innovent Solar Park. In as much as they are selling the power to government directly. So government should ensure there is proper modalities to be paying for this power, so that we are not faced with similar embarrassment of shutting down their generated power, on government, and the city goes again on blackouts. You see. So, Mr. Speaker, we have to pay serious concentration on this. I am always not of the opinion that it's because of the single treasury account that government revenue are paid into one account and the monies are used by government. But we should ring-fence or fence in this very revenue that we'll be getting from this electricity supply, so that at the end of the day, we pay them exactly when it is due. And Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I don't intend to hold this house because we have a lengthy debate today on the budget. But all I would say is that I want to thank the Ministry of Energy for going into such an agreement. And I also want to thank the Innovate and the Lungi Power Development for their sacrifice and their service to Sierra Leone. And I want to assure them that we, the members of parliament, will always work hand in glove with them to ensure that we make it very easy for them to operate. If they have constraints, especially when it's legislative related, let them don't hesitate to meet members of parliament to see how best we can be able to provide our own solution. We, with this mentality, Sierra Leone as a nation will progress. We have a lot of things to learn from, and I have stated few of those things. Let them don't repeat in this new agreement that we're having. On behalf of myself and my people of Lungi, I want to plead on members of parliament on both sides of the aisle to expeditiously approve this agreement. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.